So we're going to talk about what activities are for Nearpod. And these are fun ways to keep the kids engaged, also kind of check for understanding with them. With activities, we'll talk about time to climb in a second. Open-ended question is just that. You write a question for them to respond. You could add a timer up here. So maybe I have a question and I want them to give them 1 minute, 30 seconds to answer. Add a reference. This could be a video, image, PDF. Maybe there's a document you want them to respond on. Audio, web content. Audio recorder, which I believe is also not available on Google Slides. That's, I could be wrong on that. That's if you want to record something, you click on that. It'll record it for you. Okay? And you just hit the record button. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. All right, and that's what that is. But if you could use that. I think audio recorder you can use for not just open-ended questions, but you could use it for other activities. Okay, and then they respond to it. Matching pairs is a fun thing that you can have. Instructions go here. And you have two things that will match together. Maybe it's who is the first president. And you could have George Washington. Or you could even add an image of George Washington. And then they just match it with the image. Now, a good fun thing to do is to have a matching game at the beginning. It could be a review. It could be a vocabulary matching. You could also add images using these down here. Or just use Google search and it'll do it for you. So this is a good activity that I like to put at the beginning of my lessons. So when kids sign in, they have something to do already. They're not just sitting there waiting for everyone else to sign in. And it gives them a little extra time to do the matching game and gives you a little extra time to make sure everyone gets signed in. Okay? Now you want to have more than just one pair. You want to have a few pairs for them to match. And it'll tell them how many times it took them to match it too. So it's a little competitive. Pretty fun thing to do. Okay, so I've added that pair, but like I said, you want to add more than that. Another activity would be quiz. And I want to talk about that, and then I'll talk right after about time to climb. This is where you put your questions. You can add a reference, just like before. Okay, like I showed you with the open-ended question. Add your answers. You can add answers if you want, and one of them will be right. Now, if I have this, okay, you can also convert this into time to climb. I'm going to delete these two questions because I don't want to waste any more time. So if I save this quiz, I can click, and right here you see convert to time to climb. And so what time to climb is, it's a little fun game where they get, and you can only have 4 answers. I don't know how many questions you can have, but I wouldn't go more than like 10. After that, it's starting to get very repetitive. But it's like a little game, kind of like Kahoots. They answer it, and whoever answers it first and answers it correctly ascends a mountain. And at the end of it, whoever has gotten the most correct in the fastest amount of time is at the top of the mountain. They get first place. I think it's first, second, third. So it's a little fun game that my kids like to do. Some teachers put the quiz at the beginning, and then they'll do the assessment with the time to climb at the end, or vice versa. So that's another way you can do that. Now, I always recommend making a quiz first and then converting to time to climb because it doesn't go backwards. So see how it won't say convert to quiz. You can only convert quizzes to time to climb. So that's a little tip for you. All right. Draw it is if you want kids to draw on something. You could make a slide and have them draw. So if I have a slide here, if I click on the slide, you'll see it will say convert to draw it right there. And it says, do you want to keep a copy of the original slide? Now, I might say yes because I might have some information and then say, okay, I want you to now draw after, okay? So it will keep it for you. Or if you would just want to go ahead and just go to draw it, you can put a picture and then add some instructions here. Also add a timer and whatnot. Okay? Some more activities are collaborate, poll, fill in the blanks, and memory test. Fill in the blanks and memory test are pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not really going to talk about those. But collaborate is a lot like the open-ended question, except when they post something, and you can do it with approval or without approval, when they post something, it will go on a collaboration board. You put an image up here, enter a topic, enter a description, even change the look of the collaboration board. And it won't show the kids' names, but everyone will see the collaboration board, and everyone will see the answers. It won't show who said the answers, and they can like the answers, but for you it will show the names, just not for the kids. So it is kept anonymous that way. And that's a fun way for kids to respond, a little bit more fun than the open-ended question, because they like to see what other people said, or, oh, that one's mine right there. So that's a good way to use that. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is poll. And a poll is just that you might want to ask them at the end, hey, how do you feel about this lesson? And it's just a little survey, love it, have questions, might want to say, help. And once it you can once again have a timer, have references. Once you post this, it'll show it to the kids, and it'll also show the data. So it'll show you how many said A, B, C, who said what. They can answer multiple answers, so if you only want them to answer one, you might want to tell them that. But that's what the poll is. And that's really all there is with activities. I believe we covered everything except the last two. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. But that's a great way that you can get kids involved, get them engaged, make sure they're on task, all that stuff. All right, thank you for watching. Have a good one.